Okay, greetings and peace, everyone. I'm back with another piece of information that I certainly want to share with you all. And I'm on my daily walk today here in a trail area where it's a nice trail to work out and just have a peaceful walk. And as I was walking, I was thinking about I need to go ahead and share some information with you guys about inner conflicts. And this is something that has been going on for many, many years with a lot of people. And I've come to a great comprehension of what's going on and how to resolve these inner conflicts after I have completed a large portion of my own personal development journey. Having a great understanding of the mind and its functions, and also understanding overall mental and physical health. Because if a person has an adequate level, well, whatever their mental health level conditioning is, their body is going to translate into that, their body and their overall behavior. If a person has a clouded mind that is filled with mental issues, is certainly going to show within their body in one way or another, and within their overall behavior in one way or another. If a person has a greater level of mental clarity and a great level of mental conditioning that is much more pure than average, if not completely pure, it's going to manifest within their body and their overall behavior. And there's a clear examples in a lot of situations. A lot of people know the importance of being cautious of what you're watching daily on TV, because it is your mental health that is most important above everything, literally above everything, because everything starts within the mind. And you have to study this and really comprehend this as much as possible. Everything within your life starts within your mind. Our mind is our control panel for all aspects of our lives. If you continue to allow yourself to be ignorant of this fact, then you are going to continue to have many issues within your life, and you're going to continue to not know how to deal with the various situations within your own life. The moment you fully comprehend this information, what I just said, is when you can be able to take full control over your life. Because it is possible for a person to take full control over their life, but they first have to understand, do the research, do the studying, and do the meditation to understand, to really incorporate the information within inside themselves, internalize it, rather than just having it as information that they can just blabber about. Once they internalize it, then they'll be able to perceive what I mean as far as being able to take full control over their life and being able to take accountability over themselves. Excuse me. Those people who fail to take accountability for themselves and who continue to blame other people for what's been going on in their own lives and not taking accountability for it, those are usually the psychologically immature people who are mentally unstable. And I have experienced in my past a lot of those type of people, and I used to be that type of person also back in the day. So and me now having much more mental clarity and eating a lot less, working out more, and meditating. That's why I love being by myself in peace. It increases my mental clarity. Now I see the difference. So let's go ahead and talk about the inner conflicts. Now, the inner conflicts of people, the inner conflicts means those situations where it largely starts from a person's childhood experiences and it spans on throughout their life experiences. When a person doesn't understand their mind, their ego, and mental health, and they haven't reached an adequate level of maturity, that is when largely they're going to be they're going to perceive themselves as a passenger to their life and to their experiences, not realizing that they can control their experiences and that they are the ones that's attracting their experiences that they're walking into and that even when they're in the experience, they have a choice to respond to the situation maturely or immaturely. And it's these childhood experiences, these tragic experiences that they have been throughout their life, that they haven't recovered from psychologically, and then those end up turning into inner conflicts. And then whatever other experiences that they go throughout their life, it ends up becoming an inner conflict. And those inner conflicts are insecurities. And what those inner conflicts do within people's relationships and their lives is they sabotage a variety of situations that they're in. So a person could be in a perfectly fine situation, a situation that they want to be in and that they've been talking about so long that they want to be in, whether it be a relationship, it be a new career, it be celebrity status that they get. But if they have not resolved those inner conflicts in one way or another, psychologically, getting some kind of therapy or doing meditation or whatever, those inner conflicts are going to come to the surface at the wrong times. And people are not going to really realize what's going on. And then their inner conflicts is going to make them sabotage the situation one way or another. It could be something that they say or do that sabotages it. Well, regardless, they're going to say and or do something that sabotages the situation. And now, being in a relationship with these type of people, you might have been in one of these situations with these type of people, or you personally might have been this type of person. It's like you're walking on eggshells. You never know when they're going to explode. And regardless of what you say to them in a mature manner, their inner conflicts is going, due to the inner conflicts distorting their mind, they're not going to perceive it in a positive way, depending on the situation. And these are the situations where, especially those type of people where regardless of what you say, they always try to make it in they try to make a controversial situation out of it. Those type of people have one or more major inner conflicts that need to be resolved. And these type of people you have to keep a safe distance from and limit your exposure to them, because they're always going to pull you into some kind of controversy. And me fully understanding this now and getting to a point where now I develop my mind to be able to read people's energies, and you can read people's energies as long as you have some kind of exposure to them. You can read their energies and you can tell which ones have the inner conflicts more than the others. And the ones that have the inner conflicts, you've got to kind of, if you have to deal with them at all, you have to kind of prance around them. At the same time, try to give them the information lightly, the best way possible. And a lot of these people, well, not a lot of them, but some of these people will say that they can handle information directly. So they say, you could be direct with me. You could just give me the full details, the raw details, when in actuality, a lot of them can't. They haven't reached a high level, an adequate level of mental clarity. So you do have to still withhold certain information from them until they reach a psychological stability level to where they know how to handle any information that you give them. So you got to learn how to pick and choose what type of information to give certain people who have these type of a variety of inner conflicts, unresolved inner conflicts within themselves. And it's even working with them in work situations, like working with a co-worker. You might have experienced that. I remember back when I was working in the mailroom, there was this young 21-year-old female that I really used to like. And I used to try to get with her hard, like seriously. She was the cutest in the room that I was working in. and one of the cutest in the whole building, because I used to deliver mail throughout the whole building back in the day. And I'm gonna get up and walk a little bit. And I remember, in looking back on her, on the situation, I realized she had bipolarism. And now that I understand bipolarism a lot more now, I see the reason why sometimes she can be a completely adorable, lovable person one part of the day, and then the other part of the day she can just be completely irate and completely unstable, to where she looks completely unrecognizable. You're like, wait a minute, is this that adorable girl that I was just talking to this morning, and now she is like ready to fight somebody? It was like a complete switch, and it was so difficult to work with her throughout the time, especially during times where things are new for everybody. And when things are new for everybody and they're going through a new process, that's the time where everybody has to be as psychologically stable as possible and get along with each other, so that we can work as a team and help each other understand everything. But she was too psychologically unstable to be able to do that. Sometimes she'll be okay, and then other times she'll just be like, and all over the place. And this is one of the examples of those inner conflicts, largely coming from people's traumatic childhood experiences. This is why everybody has to have some kind of psychological therapy to recover from their childhood. Even if a person was brought up in a wealthy household, there's no parent that is a perfect parent where everything is perfect and they understand every little thing and they did every little thing perfect. There's no perfect parent and there's no perfect family at all. And coming from my family, I certainly see that is true. There's no perfect family. So there's always something that everybody has to recover from psychologically. And if they allow themselves to continue to have those inner conflicts and they just keep sweeping them under the rug, those inner conflicts are just going to continue to build bigger and bigger and bigger until they're going to have some kind of life crash. A life crash and that's my term that I use. A life crash is when a person crashes in one way or another. It could be a literal car crash. It could be a terrible relationship breakup. It could be a nervous breakdown where they got to go to the hospital and they almost died. All of these things are a result of the inner conflicts of an individual. So when you see a person going through a whole bunch of drama and trauma throughout their life, they usually have one or more major inner conflicts that they have to resolve. So that's why you got to really look at people from a distance first. Examine them at a distance before you decide to commit to them in any kind of relationship, because those inner conflicts are going to somehow sabotage your relationship with them. So regardless of how beautiful they look, regardless of their financial or even celebrity status, if a person has those inner conflicts that are unresolved, they're going to sabotage your relationship with them. And it's going to be very, very difficult. You might have experiences. Just about everybody has experienced this with everybody, because everybody has one or more inner conflicts that they have to resolve. And for me, I'm glad that I resolved the majority of them. And I can tell that I resolved the majority of them based off of how I respond to people throughout my situations with other people and how people respond to me. Because when people come around me, they're a lot more calmer and relaxed, because that's my energy, and our energies are our electromagnetic field around us. Our auric field is what it's called for some people. That influences people around us, whether we recognize it or not. But I realize it a lot, and I see how people are relaxed when they come around me, and they respect me greatly, to the point where sometimes I try to be like, with the young people, I'll say with the young people like in their early 20s and younger, I try to get on their level sometimes and just act like them. but it's just my energy and my inner peace comes across to them as like a older, mature adult. And it's like, regardless of how I act around them, they always respond back to me as like an older adult. So that lets me know, like, okay, well, I did the personal development work. That's the reason why they're treating me much more respectfully than the average person their age, on a higher, and treating me on a higher level. Yeah, it's just overall different from how they treat other people their age. And even though I look extremely young, especially if I cut off my beard, and I do look extremely young, because a lot of people think that I'm like in my early 20s, and that's due to the taking care of the body, and that's not really bragging, but I mean, it really is. Even though I can fit in with the young crowd physically, it's just my energy, and that lets me know that our energy does affect our surroundings. So that's what you got to do too. You got to work on your cleansing of your auric field. So now let's go ahead and give the solutions. Number one, the first things first is you have to spend more time by yourself in silence. You can choose to get into traditional meditation if you want. However, the average person, the traditional meditation is difficult for the average person. So I say to people, spend more time by yourself in silence, especially if you can keep all music, everybody else away from you, including your cell phone. Either put it on silent or completely turn it off, or leave it at home and just go somewhere in nature. Like I am right now. I'm here in nature, and you can probably hear the birds right now. This is one of the areas I love to come here for peace, increase my mental clarity, and cleanse my auric field, and just connect with nature and just increase my peace. And I love it here, and it allows me to think clearly. And this is where a lot of my solutions come to mind. When I'm quiet, relaxed, in a relaxed state, I don't have anybody's negative energy influencing my energy. So I could think on a much more higher level. This is what you need to do more often. Once you do this more often, then you'll be able to perceive your inner conflicts and what it has been doing in your life. And then once you perceive it and you really understand how it's been negatively affecting your life and your relationships, then you can ask yourself, which is your higher self, what is the next best thing that I can do to resolve this conflict? And then you just wait for the response, and you might get the response as a thought, an image, or in a variety of different ways. So pay attention to throughout your life, throughout the rest of that week and that month. You'll start to get information. In one way or another, you'll get information. And this is how you draw within your inner wisdom from within yourself, is by asking yourself the questions. And then you got to learn how to trust those new information that comes through. And that's the thing that a lot of people have trouble with is trusting that information that comes through from within. And then that's why a lot of people have to go through to these spiritual gurus or their pastors or anybody else that they feel is on a much more calmer, higher spiritual level than them. It's because they haven't got to the level to be able to trust their inner wisdom. It took me a couple of years to get to that point, to be able to trust my inner spiritual wisdom. Now I'm able to do it fluently, and to where whatever question that I have about life and about myself, I can get it from within. I don't really go to books or anywhere else to get my information. I just get it from within. And that's where a lot of the information that I have available here, that I share on my YouTube channel with people, I get it from my times of reflection. So you got to overall do your personal development work, and you do that by spending more time by yourself, and also paying attention to how you respond within your other life experiences and your overall life, especially dealing with other people. Paying attention on how you feel when certain things happen, and when certain people say certain things throughout your conversations with them and just being around them. Your inner conflicts is going to get triggered based off of a variety of things that people say and do. If you don't have an inner conflict based off of what a person says or does, then you won't have a feeling about it at all. If there's nothing that's in conflict with what they said, you won't have no kind of feeling. It won't be happy. It won't be a negative. So that's how you know when a person gets irate off of what another person says. That's how you know, you can identify that they have an inner conflict that coincides with the situation that occurred. Those are the two top of things that you can do to resolve your inner conflicts. If you can't, and those are the personal ways, if you want to do it yourself. This is what I did with myself. That's the situation that I did, what I went through, the process. However, if you feel that it's necessary to get some kind of therapy with another therapist or anything like that, you can go ahead and do that also, because for some people, they have to get up to that point to be able to do things personal for themselves, psychological development consultation that I offer people on my Neo Oneness Subliminals website, and that website is transformationsubliminals.com. You can go there and read my information there about the personal development consultation. That consultation provides information about a person's personal development journey, where to start and how to start. You'll get information about that, and we'll speak about your current situation and what you want to change about yourself, and I'll give you a strategy plan, including, depending on what package you purchase, you'll also get a subliminal video and or audio from me, which will help with your psychological conditioning, because there's a lot of people that need psychological reconditioning to condition themselves to a much more better mental health, because there's a lot of psychological issues that they have to resolve. And if they don't resolve it, as I said before, they're going to continue to have issues within their life and their relationships. So you can check those two things out, and that will be in the description. You can check that link out. The Confide session, that information is at my CommittedRelationships.info website. So that's CommittedRelationships.info. INFO. You can check that out there. And then my personal development consultations, that one is at Transformation Subliminals. Wait, is it Transformation Subliminals? Yeah, transformationsubliminals.com. And if you have any questions, comments, and concerns regarding relationships, you can, of course, email me at committedrelationships@gmail.com. That will be in the description also. All right, thank you very much for listening. Make sure that you do like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe if you would like more information like this, and also overall personal development and relationships, because that is exactly what I talk about throughout this YouTube channel. Thank you. Till next time.